We cover plenty of cardio machines on this channel that are perfect for building endurance, but it's time we spend a little more time talking about a treadmill that's more focused on strength and power. I've got to admit, a treadmill that supports Nordic curls is actually just what I've needed. Let's get started because we have a lot to go through with the SledTred and Power Tower. What is up? This is Treadmill Review Guru. I'm Kaylee and I'm not running on the treadmill today. Instead, we're talking about the Tib Bar Guy SledTred, which is so much more than just a treadmill. It's the compact alternative to a traditional sled. It's a pull-up bar. It's for Nordic curls. Really, there's so much you can do with it. I usually work out at my apartment for all my resistance training, but I think I'm going to have to do a lot more of it in the TRG studio now that we have this guy. I can't wait to share with you what I thought about the SledTred, what I liked, and what its limitations are. But first, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We have some more fun stuff headed your way, so make sure you don't miss it. Before we go any further, you should know we are affiliates, so purchasing the SledTred using our link supports our channel, but it does not increase the cost of the machine for you. And let's get back to it. First things first, we have the SledTred with the Power Tower attached, but you can also get the SledTred without the Power Tower. The measurements are 67 inches long with the treadmill unfolded, 40 inches wide with that pull-up bar on the Power Tower, and 28 inches wide without the Power Tower. The height is 65.5 inches without the Power Tower and 86 inches tall with it. One very important thing to consider before purchasing the Power Tower is that you need more room than just the height of the machine. When you do a pull-up, your head will go over that bar and we don't want you bumping your head, so factor in some additional clearance there. The SledTred and Power Tower weigh 135 pounds, which is not bad at all. It has handles you can use to move it around on its wheels. I was super surprised at how easy it was for me to do so on my own. I wouldn't want to go too far with it, but I've been rolling it in and out of a corner in our studio, which works just fine. Folding the treadmill is entirely manual. It's not heavy, say just about 20 pounds or so. You have to manually lift and lower the deck. To lock it into place, use one of the longer pins or the multi-pad attachment to prevent it from falling forward. But the deck tilts so far back that even if you don't secure it, it shouldn't fall forward unless some other force really pushes it that way. There is some assembly required with the SledTred and Power Tower. It can be a little tricky. We actually missed a step with the console monitor, but the customer service was super fast at diagnosing our issue and getting us up and running. If you have someone to help you with assembly, it should be super easy. The frame is pretty sturdy steel that supports up to 400 pounds, but the treadmill itself only supports 300 pounds. I'm a little disappointed with that difference in weight capacity because I wish the treadmill were better for loaded carries. Still, that's a decent range and you can do weighted pull-ups or dips, which is nice. My only complaint with the frame quality is that getting the attachments to fit onto the frame and line all the holes up can be challenging. I can do it, but it takes a little extra time. So I'm going to start with the SledTred. I'll cover the Power Tower more on its own in a separate section. But since this is Treadmill Review Guru, let's look at the treadmill first. It's a manual treadmill, so there's no motor on this machine. Your weight and force power it. You have to hold onto part of the frame or push against it to turn that belt. And you don't have to worry about putting this thing near an outlet. It can go just about anywhere since it doesn't need electricity. The deck is only 14 inches wide by 53 inches long. That's quite narrow and a little short for a treadmill, yet it worked well for me. I didn't feel like I was running out of room since I'm just walking and sled pushing on it rather than truly sprinting or running. The deck is a little thin for what I prefer. It's only about ½ an inch thick, and while the SledTred isn't made for the same forces a true running treadmill is subject to, something a little sturdier here would have been nice. The treadmill has two incline settings, flat or 7 degrees, which is about a 12% incline. The incline is manual, so you have to lift the deck up and fold it and unfold the support frame to get it how you want. Then you can use 2 pins to lock that frame into place. In addition to the incline, the treadmill has multiple resistance settings. There's a dial on the right side of the treadmill that adjusts through 7 levels of resistance. This dial controls a set of magnets on the right flywheel under the treadmill deck. But there are actually 2 flywheels. You can manually set the magnets on the left side to get more resistance levels. The resistance does get really intense, which is what makes this treadmill so good for sled pushing. So the SledTred has multiple bars to grab onto for walking and resistance sprinting. You can duck down and place your shoulders against the sled push pads to really get to work. I also like to set up the multi-pad so I can walk backwards with the treadmill inclined. It's become my go-to warm-up exercise for the rest of my workout on the sled tread. I also like holding onto the dip bars. You can adjust both attachments to a variety of heights. The dip bars feel sturdy when used as handles or dip bars. The final piece I want to take a quick look at on the sled tread without the power tower is the console. It's very simple and battery powered. There are 3 metrics: time, feet, and miles. You can set a target for each of these metrics or just get started on the treadmill and it will track them automatically for you. I really like that the console starts and stops automatically, keeping track of your cumulative time and distance, which makes it really good for intervals. But now let's take a look at the power tower. If you have room for the power tower, I recommend it, especially if you don't already have a pull-up bar of some sort. It feels really sturdy and has a bunch of grip options. I really need to work on my pull-ups, so this tower is a great addition to our studio. The power tower has knurling on the different grips. It's a bit too mild for my sweaty hands. I can hold on, but it would be nice to have something a little more textured there. You can use the pull-up bar with the treadmill deck folded up or flat. I like that I can easily grab the bar without having to jump with the deck unfolded, especially since I'm only 5'4". Don't think you're just limited to pull-ups and chin-ups though. I really like doing hanging leg raises and dead hangs on the power tower. You have room to get creative with this machine. The power tower isn't the only addition you can get with the sled tread. You can also get the multi-step attachment and the VersaPad. I don't have those to show you unfortunately, but if I were buying this for myself, I would get them. I've been using the multi-pad for Nordic curls with a makeshift VersaPad under my knees, and it's just not the same as the real thing. If you want to do Nordic curls, get the VersaPad. Your patellas will thank you. As for the multi-step, I love step-up exercises and elevated calf raises. I think it makes a great addition to the sled tread and power tower, ensuring you get a well-rounded lower body workout. You only get the multi-pad and the dip bars included with the sled tread and power tower. That multi-pad is really great for Nordic curls, Bulgarian split squats, and walking backward. The dip bars are great, but I would go with the complete set of all the attachments so you get the most out of this setup. Price-wise, the power tower just adds $100 to the cost of the sled tread, and the multi-step is $130. The VersaPad is $30. Right now, I see the sled tread by itself at $9.99, $10.99 to get the power tower too, and so everything would be about $12.60. But do double check me on that price. Fitness equipment fluctuates a lot in price. All right, so now I'm going to use the sled tread a little bit so you can see how it performs. I'm going to be doing a sled push, but first I got to take off this multi-pad attachment. All right, so I just took it off using the push pins. You'd want to secure that a little bit more firmly if you're doing something like a Nordic curl where you have to be putting a lot of weight on this thing. All right, so now let's do a sled push. I have the resistance all the way up, so it's gonna be a little challenging. All right, so first I'm gonna start off with more of an upright position, which is probably not how I would normally choose to do it, but you can. And then you can also drop down with these push bars here. And I have the treadmill inclined, but you can also do it flat if you'd prefer. All right, so that's what it's like to sled push on the sled tread. Super easy, and it's a really fun and versatile machine to use. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Tib Bar Guy SledTred. I actually really like this super versatile treadmill. I think it really appeals to a lot of people. I've been really wanting to do hanging leg raises and Nordic curls, so this was great to incorporate into my routine. If you don't have the space for a bunch of different machines, especially a sled push, this is an excellent alternative. The biggest downside to me was just how long it takes me to set up for each exercise. Doing a HIIT workout or circuit is a little more tedious than I would like, so just plan your rests well to accommodate for that. Who knows, maybe now I'll get better at pull-ups. If you're convinced by this review or would like more information, you can check out the current price of the SledTred with the link in the description. We also linked my written review, which goes a little more in depth in some areas. If you have questions, please leave me a comment. I will do my best to reply. This is Treadmill Review Guru. I'm Kaylee. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.